Alright, so whenever you're going to translate a polygon, that just means you're going to move it. And usually they give you some coordinates to translate it by. In this case, we're going to translate it by 5, -1. So we know we have to translate it on the x-axis by 5, or +5, and on the y-axis by -1. So that means that we're going to be moving all the points over by 5, and the y-coordinate is a -1, so we know that that's going to mean we're going to move our points 1 unit down. So let's start with our top point. We'll move it to the right 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1 unit down, and mark our first translated point. And we do the same thing for our next point and our final 2 points. Next, I like to label the coordinates. So I know on the x-axis we are at an 8, because you count over 8 from the origin. And on the y-axis we're at a 0, because we're right on that first line. We haven't moved at all from the origin for that first coordinate. Okay, and then we have our next coordinate is at 9 for the x and 1 for the y. Then 8 and 4, and 6 and 1. Next, I double check to make sure I've moved all of my vertices the proper amount for the translation it asked us to do. So let's just take a look at our first point. We know we're going to the right 5 units, so count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it needs to go down for -1 units for our y-axis. So I kind of drew those arrows in just so you can double check. I always like to check. We know that all of our coordinates here have to be congruent with our original coordinates, so we can make a polygon that is congruent. So I draw our sides in and draw our lines in between the different vertices, and it is congruent. It takes up the same amount of space. All the coordinates are in the same, relative spot, and they're facing the same direction. So that's pretty much it. When you're translating polygons, basically the biggest factor is just looking at that coordinate set that you're translating it by. Well, I wish you guys luck. And have fun.